Closer with one in particular?
Yeah, a little bit closer with my younger brother.
In what ways? Like, where did you guys connect?
I actually had a repeat kindergarten, so...
What?
Yeah.
No, how do you have to repeat kindergarten?
Apparently I was not as developmentally along the path. That's a terrible articulation.
You're fine.
And I'm trying to make up for it.
It's okay.
I had to go to reading readiness because my reading comprehension wasn't great.
Yeah.
I had a learning disability that was not diagnosed in kindergarten, so I had to repeat it. And then that put my younger brother and I in the same grade.
Oh, so you guys were like...
We tagged along. I had the same friends up through senior year of high school and even into college a little bit. And yeah.
Dude, that's rad. So like finding out with, like you mentioned learning disability, right? Like did that pose challenges going forward? Because obviously I'm assuming at an early age you knew what you were gonna wind up doing, or like kind of the route that you wanted to go.
Yeah, actually, it took several different paths. When I was growing up, I was a huge comic book nerd. Well, I'm still a comic book nerd.
I know. I think you were reading comic books when we were getting ready for this.
Yeah, I was like, I should be helping, but this is my downtime.
No kids, no wife, comic books.
Right. Just what's Tony Stark doing? And I wanted to be a superhero.
Really?
Like, I wanted to study science
career.
and hey, Reed Richards is a scientist. I want to be Reed Richards. Maybe not as stretchy, but.
So you straight up like when you were going through school, you wanted to dive into the sciences and the math.
And then I realized that I'm terrible at math. Okay. So hey, I'm pretty good at art. I will just become a comic book artist. And
so did you start pursuing that?
Yeah, and up until about high school, and then I had not to throw anyone under the bus. I had a terrible art teacher.
That's fine.
It's like, oh well, I'm clearly no good. So maybe I'll find something else to do.
But now you're doing graphic design, right?
Yeah, and a lot of that's out of necessity.
Yeah.
One, because the church can't afford to pay anyone.
That's fair.
And that's one of those things that you don't expect free art from someone.
Right.
Right? That's offensive and rude.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's a good way for me to release and have a hobby. That
kind of like a de-stressor,
exactly,
if you will. That's fair. No.
Until Photoshop fails, and then I just
then you
Hulk
cringe.
out.